This has got to be one of the most basic, useful things to know if you're someone surrounded by people from different cultures, or if you think you might interact with, study, or consume media involving more than one culture. My name is Mai Hakoe, and I'll be discussing how different aspects of culture determine the nonverbal communication we have with others. In this video, we will define culture, co-culture, individualism versus collectivism, immediacy versus non-immediacy, masculine and feminine dimensions of culture, and pitfalls to look out for when comparing different cultures. Culture is a learned and enduring pattern of behavior and values that influence a large group of people. Thus, according to Burgoon and Associates, culture is learned through interaction with one's family and friends, from the media where available, as well as social and religious institutions such as schools and temples. Now, co-cultures are smaller groups of people within a dominant culture. They can be tied to religion, ethnicity, age, social class, geographic location, physical ability, sexual orientation, and/or gender, and can differ from the larger culture in which they live. According to Burgoon and colleagues, individualism is a social pattern made up of individuals who are likely to value personal space, freedom, privacy, and autonomy. Individualistic cultures value the right to express themselves verbally and emotionally. Utzel observed that collectivism is a social pattern of more closely linked individuals who see themselves as members of one or more in-groups. Collectivistic cultures tend to focus on the harmony between people, emphasize togetherness, tradition, and loyalty, and view the needs of the collective group as more desirable than the goals of a single person. In more immediate cultures, people might make more eye contact, smile, nod, touch, or stand close to each other during conversation. Burgoon and colleagues stated that people in cultures that value high levels of immediacy also value open emotional expression. In the 1990s, there were many studies done to examine the impact of immediacy on cognitive learning. In one study, McCroskey and his research team chose students from low to high immediacy cultures, US, Australian, Puerto Rican, and Finnish, to be taught by more immediate teachers in their own languages. These students rated how immediate their teachers were, how much eye contact they made with the students, if they gestured while they talked or moved around the room. They then reported how much they learned in that class versus other classes they've had. The results indicated that increased teacher immediacy was associated with an increase in perceived learning and a decrease in learning loss. Geert Hofstede explains in his book that masculinity stands for a society in which men are supposed to be assertive, tough, and focused on material success. Women are supposed to be more modest, tender, and concerned with the quality of life. The opposite pole, femininity, stands for a society in which both men and women are supposed to be modest, tender, and concerned with the quality of life. Interesting to note, unlike individualism and collectivism, masculinity and femininity is unrelated to wealth. Both among the masculine and among the feminine countries, some are rich and others poor. So why be educated on this? Well, for one thing, we've seen here that culture is taught. So if something appeals to you about the different dimensions we've covered, know that you can learn and unlearn any of them. Keep in mind that no one is one-dimensional. Cultures can and do change depending on what the people want. When studying cross-culture and intercultural research, beware of falling into the us versus them mentality. Stereotypes can stem from the truth, but we cannot say that all those from a certain culture are the same. Alright, quick review of everything we've covered today. Culture is a pattern of behavior and values that are learned from others in both formal and informal settings. Co-cultures are smaller groups of people who may differ from the larger culture by hobbies, age, class, etc. Individualism prioritizes the right to express oneself verbally and emotionally over the harmony of a group. Collectivism prioritizes the we over the I, seeking harmony between individuals and emphasizing loyalty, tradition, and togetherness. Immediacy is using nonverbal cues to demonstrate closeness between people, such as relaxed postures, smiling, and making eye contact. Non-immediacy is using nonverbal cues to seem less approachable, such as avoiding eye contact or having a rigid posture. The masculine dimension of a culture is where men prioritize assertiveness and women prioritize tenderness. And the feminine dimension is where both men and women prioritize tenderness and concern for quality of life. Some pitfalls to avoid when studying cross-culture and intercultural research: avoid creating the us versus them mentality, assuming cultures are static and therefore can't change, and emphasizing the differences between cultures instead of the similarities. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely day.